Hey guys, this is Aaron XNR here. I just wanted to let you guys know I've been doing this for 5 years now. I've been a personal trainer for 5 years, and I've been helping quite a bit of people lose weight, gain muscle, and I just wanted to show you this presentation here today. So let's go into the slideshow here. Now, who is this for, right? This is for 20 to 55-year-old men and women who have an entrepreneurial mindset or are business minded and want a great physique, right? But in reality, guys, it can't be bought, okay? It has to be earned. Now, with that in mind, who is this for? So, if your version of being entrepreneurial or business minded means leading with strength, presence, and purpose, this is definitely going to be for you. Now, I have been doing this for 8 years. Okay. I started when I was 16. I'm right now, 24, 25 years old. So, quite a bit of time, 9 years, right? I've dialed in my nutrition and everything. And I've failed a bunch in the process. However, I have condensed those 8 years down into just a couple months, right? 6 months, where if you dedicate yourself and you put your focus and energy into following the program, you will get the results that you want, right? So that's another thing, right? Believing your body is a reflection of your mindset. That is a big thing that I'm going to focus on in this program with you guys, and basically training like your life and income depend on it, right? Just like your job, right? If you don't have your job, you won't be able to provide for your family. You won't be able to provide for yourself. And having that in the back of your mind, the health is the same thing, right? Going to the gym is the same thing. You're only getting older, guys, right? That means you're only getting slower. So it's going to be harder for you to do your job someday. However, if you're always lifting weights, you're always eating right, your energy is going to be super high, and your focus is also going to be very sharp, right? So that's something I have noticed throughout the years. And, me being a business owner now for 2 years, I have seen a huge, huge change in how I deal with stress and how my clients deal with stress, right? Because it all starts with the mind. If the mind is strong, the body will follow. It's a guaranteed. So, another thing is if you know that discipline in the gym builds resilience in your business and depth in your relationships, this is for you, right? Now, weight training only takes an hour, only takes 1 hour 3 times a week. So, 3 hours a week to really change your mindset, to change your energy levels. Because when you work out, guys, you're basically releasing three chemicals: serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins. These three chemicals are going to give you 12 hours of focus and high energy levels. Now, with that in mind, you'll basically be like off of caffeine, in no time if you're having, let's say, 2 or 3 Red Bulls a day, right? Instead of relying on that, you just have 1 hour workout and you don't have to worry about all that caffeine that you're having, right? Um, and I definitely struggle with that too, right? So, that's just one thing, but we'll go into more details here soon. So, if you know that discipline in the gym builds resilience in your business and depth in your relationships, this is definitely for you, right? And then the last thing is if you're coachable, committed, and wired to win, this is definitely for you, right, guys? Like, I'm going to give you the blueprint. I'm going to give you the step-by-step process on how to change your physique, your energy levels, and it's going to be very simple as long as you follow it, right? And sure, I'll critique you here and there, But at the end of the day, I'm on your side. I'm going to hold you accountable every step of the way. Okay. Now, the next thing is, who is this not for? Right? If you're not willing to make time to train, this is definitely not for you. If eating well or prepping your meals feels like too much of a hassle, this is definitely not for you. If you let exhaustion win every time that it's time to work out, this isn't for you, right? If you're constantly choosing your business at the expense of your health, this is not for you, right? You just got to allocate 3 hours, like I said, a week. That's it. And to be honest, weight training wise, you're only doing 45 minutes. You're warming up 15 minutes. Okay. And I have everything organized within the app. So it's super easy for you to follow. And yeah, very, very easy. So, these excuses shouldn't really throw you off. Okay. And I just wanted to point them out. But if you're, yeah, constantly choosing your business at the expense of your health, right? Like, this is the biggest one I've seen. And the thing is, I get it, right? You have to be at work, let's just say 9 to 5. Okay. But even if it's just 30 minutes at home doing, let's just say core, which you don't need any equipment whatsoever in my program, that only takes 30 minutes to do. I know you have 30 minutes when you get home to work out, right? Instead of watching TV, instead of, doing something that you shouldn't be doing, right? And it's just getting past those limiting beliefs. That is going to be the first challenge, right? But if you believe you're too old to build muscle or lose weight effectively, this is definitely not for you, right? You're never too old, guys. Never too old. But like I said, I mostly help individuals from 20 to 55 years old. Sure, I've had older clients, but, tackling it when you're young is going to give you the most return on investment in the long run. When you are 60, when you are 70, if you start, it's most likely too late. Okay. That's just the truth, right? Your bone density significantly decreases after, the age of like 50. Well, actually, after the age of 25, but not as severe, right? So I'm just saying, guys, like, just being proactive, being able to know when to start. This is the time. This is the time, right? So now here's the actual truth. Most people think losing weight and gaining muscle as a business owner is too hard, right? Or as a business person. They don't have the discipline to stick to a workout or nutritional plan, right? So if this is you, right, I don't want you to feel this way. I don't want you to feel like it's super structured, and I don't want you to feel like you're going to sacrifice all your favorite hobbies and favorite foods to lose weight and gain muscle. That is not the case, right? I'm going to cater it to you. I'm going to make sure your meal plan is all the foods you like. Okay. And, say you like a specific restaurant that you like to eat out at, once a week. We'll be able to put that in there as well. Right. So it doesn't really take too many sacrifices to get in shape, guys. It really doesn't. And, having stress does affect weight loss and muscle gain, right? So managing that, right? The app I have, that I have for you guys manages stress, right? I have a daily habit questionnaire for you guys, which will really help with your stress. So we'll dive more into that later. But anyway, don't worry. I'm not going to let that happen to you, right? There's no such thing as not having the power to balance business success and personal health. There's no such thing as dreaming too big, right? If you want six pack, you will have a six pack. If you want nice, godlike chest, then you will have it, right? If you want tree trunks for legs, you will have it, right? If you want to be confident and take your shirt off on the beach without feeling judged, you will have it. You will have everything that you want. But if you keep thinking like a small minded person and you stick to your old habits and routines and stay in the scarcity mindset, then it will never happen. It will never happen. And that's the truth, guys, right? The mindset is everything. It starts here before it comes out into fruition, right? So, this quote I have here: the work on the outside can never be small if the inner work is great. I truly believe this, right? It all starts in the mind. Okay. Now, if you want that person to be you, I'll show you exactly what to do. Okay. So, the first thing is how to get rid of limiting beliefs and emotions. That's going to be the first thing we're going to tackle. Okay. And through the daily habit form, we will achieve that. And that's, like I said, within the app. Developing a positive self-image and creating permanency in results. Okay, that is huge, right? The way you talk to yourself is the way you view yourself. The way you view yourself is the way the world views you. Okay, I truly believe that. Now, getting in the best shape of your life, it's going to happen in the mind before it comes into fruition. It's going to happen in your dreams before it comes into reality. Okay, you have to see it in your mind. Now, this is all around creating a life of abundance, okay? Because it's your trademark. Your body is your trademark, guys, especially if you're a business person, right? You walk into a room, people notice you or they don't. It's one or the other, okay? And it's just the truth, right? But yeah. Now, in case you don't know me, here is a brief backstory on how I got here, okay, to become the person I am today. So my parents only cared for me to be a doctor like them, right? I did not want to be like them. However, I did want to help people be healthy. I really did. I always had a passion for that. And I love soccer too much. I wanted to be a professional soccer player. So, I got a scholarship to play in college. I wasn't really book smart because I wasn't studying what I liked. And even when I did switch over, I wasn't really, I switched from exercise science to business marketing. And I really didn't like studying and, being super structured with everything. Um, sure, I got by with, B's and C's, but school was never for me, really. Uh, but I did know how to work hard when my back was against the wall. I really, I really did. And we went to nationals my freshman year in college, and I'll dive into that here. But I started to go to the gym for soccer. Right, that was the only reason I went, so I could be a better soccer player. My junior year in high school, and knew absolutely nothing on training, nothing. Now, during college, I learned a lot more about it and what I wanted out of my life. Okay. Um, my freshman year, we went to nationals as a team. It was the highlight of my soccer career. And yeah, I will never forget that moment. I was one of the 18 guys to go out of 50 guys to this national tournament in California, Irvine, California. And, after that point, things started to fall apart in my life. They really did. COVID hit. I lost my dad to cancer. My passion for soccer started to deteriorate. It's back up again, but I just play once a week for fun. Um, but then everything started to fall apart, like even more, right? I started to follow the crowd, right? I was constantly following the crowd. I was drinking, smoking almost every weekend and sometimes during the week. And I gained 20 pounds by the end of my freshman year, Um, and it was because I was just eating out so much, partying. I was neglecting my health every chance I could. go out and party. And I realized the friends that I had weren't really my friends. They were just there. They were just there having fun, but not truly, pursuing anything meaningful, at least to me, and I wanted to have a meaningful life, and I felt lost. I felt alone. I felt depressed. I felt all these things, and I knew I had to change. So, what I did to change was, I found myself through fitness and helping others, right? This always was the grounding force um, to get me through this pain that I was experiencing, And so I started as a personal trainer at Crunch from 2021 to 2022. This is where I got my first certification, just in person training. And then I transitioned to a bigger gym, a big box gym, Genesis Health Clubs. And that's where I got more certifications and started training more clients. And this is where my passion for personal training and helping people just went to the next level, right? I started training over 20 people at Genesis, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the leap of faith. I'm gonna start my own thing. I had my own studio for a little while with this chiropractor that I knew, and it worked out for a little while. Then it didn't. So now I'm at this new studio, much, much bigger, much, much better. And I'm very, very happy training my clients in real life as well as online, right? I love to do this online training as well. Now, the thing is, I'm based out of Kansas City, guys. Okay. I'm based out of Kansas City, and I'm in Overland Park, Kansas. So if you are in the area, you can come visit my studio and check it out. But if not, it's not the biggest. It's not a big deal. We can just do this online, and I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, so now I help business people and business owners gain muscle, lose weight without sacrificing their foods and hobbies through my online coaching program. So let me show you guys basically how I did it in 8 years. Okay, well 9 years now, but trial and error, guys. I literally I got injured so many times. My form was atrocious. I didn't know where to start, but now I have optimized everything, and I just want to break it down for you. Okay, so this was before, when I was a skinny little boy, to when I was a little overweight, to now me being absolutely shredded, right? And I have the most energy I've ever had. It's just because of discipline, guys. It's just discipline. It's that simple. But I want to break it all down for you. So when I started diving deep into self-development, this is when everything started to change. Okay, I just lost my dad to cancer. I was just partying like crazy, and I was hanging out with not the best people. So I had to get rid of my vices. So I started to read these books, and they rewired my brain. They recreated my identity of myself and my internal world. So I started setting non-negotiables in my life. Right, going to the gym, drinking water instead of drinking alcohol. Things like this. Developing the habit of reading self-development every day, right? Non-negotiable, right? Gratitude journaling once a week, right? Making sure I meditated 10 minutes every day, non-negotiable, clearing my head. Uh, cutting out my friends that were not really my friends, okay? And then finding better people that were in the same mindset as me, right? That were positive influences in my life. And yeah, so this was huge, huge turning point. Now, in the following steps, I'll outline the entire process, A to Z, of what I did to accomplish these results, so you can use my reframe and rebuild method to recreate yourself and your dream physique that you've always wanted. So, first things first, this is just the process overview of how I did it, right? Connecting the dots. So like I said, I started when I was like 16 in high school, and I was just training for soccer, no more. And then I switched from training to soccer to calisthenic bodybuilding, and that was just a little bit of a big change. And at 20 years old in college, I found the truth about training. No one knew, right? It's the body weight compound movements, guys. These movements are going to be so much better for your joints and tendons in the long run. The machines, you're only engaging 2 to 3 muscle groups at a time, maybe 1 to 2, right? Most of them 1 to 2. However, with the compound body weight movements, you can engage 5 to 7 muscle groups at a time. Now, I was constantly struggling with injuries in the gym, on the field, so I had to change my routine, and I was wondering what the hell was going on, but it was because I wasn't doing enough of these compound movements. The more compound movements I did, the better my endurance got, the stronger my joints and tendons got, and the more muscle I gained. I gained 20 pounds of lean muscle in 2 years of training, and I was still the fittest guy on the team. I was the fittest guy on my soccer team for the 4 years I was there for my college team. Now, the reason why is because of these compound movements, guys. They are just absolutely life-changing. So I'm going to show you guys how you can basically do this without, sacrificing your favorite foods and hobbies in the process, right? Through these 3 phases. Phase 1, reframe, creating a foundation, a base, right? This is going to be huge. Rewiring. Phase 2, creating permanency through consistency. Phase 3, rebuilding, creating the life and habits you want with a new identity. Now, let me show you how I optimized each phase and elevated physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. Now, first phase is reframing. So I introduced new emotions and new habits into my day-to-day routine. I had to. I was lost, I was depressed, I was full of anxiety. I had to do this. Now, what new emotions, right? Like basically rewiring your thoughts. Instead of being deprecating thoughts, you have affirming thoughts, actionable thoughts, powerful thoughts, right? This is the recreation foundation. It's the most difficult phase. It's the first month we're going to start doing this through the daily habit form, through the app that I have for you guys. Now, this takes time, okay? We're going to start in the first month, but it might take a month or 2 to really, really compound those positive affirming thoughts that you need to have day to day, right? However, I'm going to be there every step of the way holding you accountable. So it's going to be easier with that in mind. Now, if you do this like your life depends on it, because it does, then you'll be fine. You'll be doing great, okay? And the thing is, right when you feel like giving up, that's when you strike gold. I swear, I've had so many clients of mine tell me, man, like I would have gave up if it wasn't for this program, Aaron. And the reason why is because the accountability aspect of things, right? There's going to be also check-ins every day that you were going to be able to do in the app, meaning you can log your workouts, you can fill your daily habit form out, and you can also message me saying, hey, Aaron, I got it done today. I locked in. I did my workout. I feel great, right? This is going to be honestly the easiest thing if you have faith in yourself. That's another thing, guys, faith. You got to have faith in yourself and trust the process. Now, introducing new habits, right? Meditation, visualization. This needs to be done in the morning prior to work. Why? Because most people, I definitely wake up with a million thoughts in mind that I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to, I got to like prepare for this. Man, it just takes up a lot of your energy. So you need to calm the mind down before you start the day, right? Visualize what you got to do. Let those thoughts come in the mind, but at the end of the time set and silence, your mind will be clear. You will be calm. You'll be able to go about your day with purpose, focus, clear headedness. Like this is huge, absolutely huge. You'll be able to conquer the day. That's just the reality of things. Now, gratitude journaling. This is self care. This is getting those negative thoughts out onto a piece of paper, reading them, understanding. Okay, where is this thought coming from? Why am I having this negative thought? And then unpacking it, right? These are the things that we would talk about a little bit deeper, but helps tremendously with the first phase, like I said. Now, meal prepping this two days out of the week. Okay, let's just say Sunday and Wednesday. You meal prep. Okay, takes maybe an hour, not even. All right, make your favorite two meals, and we'll go over all that together as well. Right, preparing ahead of time. Right, you're gonna have a busy day. So when are you gonna fit in the workout? When are you gonna fit in filling out the check-in form? Right, both those things take an hour to do. Right, both those things together take an hour and 10 minutes maybe to do. Right, so it's not gonna take long. It's not gonna take long as long as you prepare ahead of time. Right, time blocking, getting rid of the distractions. That's another big thing. Right, distractions meaning just excessive TV, excessive scrolling on social media, binging on snacks, on drinks, uh, these things. It's just simple things that uh, I'm sure, you know, a lot of people struggle with, right? So now rewiring. Now this is phase two. Okay, creating permanency through consistency. This is basically reinventing yourself. Now, in this phase, we're going to develop skills, okay, that are going to basically rebuild your mindset, okay? And these skills are going to be mostly habits that are going to be ingrained in your day to day routine that you will not want to give up because your day is just so full. It's so full of winning, okay? And it's just going to be the most life changing thing. And you won't ever miss a workout. You won't ever feel lethargic or slow or, brain fog, because of these skills, right? Now, having compassion for yourself is going to be huge throughout this process, right? There's going to be days that you're going to cheat on your meal plan. You're just going to give in, but you're going to have to have grace. You're going to have compassion for yourself. Just because you messed up once doesn't mean you got to just just give up, right? As long as you don't give up, and you message me, and make sure that I can help you. Having that in mind that I'm here to help you, then there's no really giving up if you have that in mind, right? But if you don't message, if you don't track anything, it's going to be extremely hard, very very hard. So focusing on progress, guys, just progress, not perfection. It's going to happen. However, it's not going to happen overnight, right? You're not going to lose 30 pounds overnight, right? But setting the non negotiables is going to be a must, right? And then shedding old patterns, behaviors, and beliefs is also going to be a must. Now, reinventing yourself. This is by far my favorite phase. All right. You've already ingrained the new habits, you've established them, they're already working for you. You've seen the energy increases, you've seen the progression in the gym. Now we got to get really clear on the goals that you have, the vision you have for not just physically, but also business wise, family wise, relationship wise, whatever. This is where we dive deep into the mindset program. Okay. As you can see, there's Steve Jobs right here. He's one of my favorite entrepreneurs. Dude, this guy, one of the most resilient entrepreneurs I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure you guys watched the movie. Freaking got let go from his own company, came back, and absolutely exploded the company, you know. And the thing is, he never gave up. Even though he got kicked out of his own company, he never gave up on himself because he knew who he was. He had a very strong self identity, and his inner voice never got drowned, right? It says, don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. I truly believe that, right? So being intentional with your day-to-day actions and just habits is going to be huge. And then comparison, guys. Comparison is the thief of joy. It really is. I don't care what anyone thinks about me, and nor should you. Okay. Now, as you get better, your friends are going to notice. Some of them are going to envy you for making those positive changes because they're still the same. Because they're still stuck where they were and you're not. You're making progress. You're killing it. Your abs are showing. Your arms are bulging. Your chest is godlike, right? Your legs look amazing, right? These things, they don't just come to like they don't come to everyone's mind and be like, oh, okay, this guy worked really hard. They're just going to envy you. All right. There's going to be people like that. But at the end of the day, as long as you focus on yourself, you'll be good. Right. And when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, everything always has a way of falling into place. I truly believe this, right? You can, if you have a strong faith, God or the universe always has a plan for you. Always. Now, these are the third is the rebuilding phase. Okay, so this is basically creating the life and habits you want with the new identity, right? So, this is the final phase. This is where you intentionally craft the life you desire. Okay, by taking more action and embodying the characteristics of the person you want to become. If you want to become, godlike and have a great physique, then that's what's going to happen. Okay. And this is where the vision starts to manifest. This is where everything starts to align, right? And just starts to happen. So writing it down is going to be huge, right? I want to be godlike, right? I want to be a successful business owner. I will be a successful business owner. I will be a aesthetic looking person, right? Or I will be pain free, right? I will have a great physique, right? These are things I would love for you to write down, right? And this is later on, right? Showing gratitude for the life you want as if you already are there. Okay. This is Napoleon Hill speaking, guys. All right. If you've heard of Napoleon Hill, one of the greatest self-development authors I've ever read, Think and Grow Rich is one of his books. But I believe that when you show gratitude for the life you want and you already believe that it's already happening, it's already there, it will happen. It truly will happen. But, getting there takes some, I would say, consistency, okay? Getting to that mindset and takes some momentum for sure. For sure. It's not going to happen overnight. That's why it's the third phase, right? The ripple effect. That's basically the compounding effect, the momentum, right? The boulder going down the freaking mountain. The boulder going down the mountain, just going faster and faster and faster and faster until it hits something, right? But thing is, this mountain's endless. Okay. All right. So being unapologetic for who you are, that's a must. Okay. You can't let other people judge you. Can't let other people run over you. You got to have those high standards in your life if you don't already have them, right? Living boldly, being true to who you are, okay? Sticking to those. I don't want this to change who you are internally as a person, you know. I just want you to be a better version of the person you already are. That's all. Now, remember, growth is not a destination, guys, right? Like I said, that's an ever ending mountain of that boulder going down. It doesn't end. It just goes faster and faster and faster and faster, that boulder, right? And then reflecting on your mistakes, times that you struggled, that you knew, if you did something different, it would have worked out. It would have been better. You would have lost more weight, right? Just reflecting on those things. And that's where the journaling comes in, right? And then having faith. Having faith, guys. That is just the most important thing. If you're going to take anything from today, from this whole video, I would say it's having faith just in yourself, that you can do it, that you can be a better version of yourself. Now, summary. Now, I know it's been quite a bit of time that we talked, but I just want to go over some of my clients' testimonials. So this is Everton. Now, what happened to him? He really started to burn the fat off during his journey in my program. Let me tell you, I started training him and his wife, and they both were in it together. It's good to have a partner like that. And so he felt good, that he wanted to work out even more. So he kept working out more and more. He started that boulder on the top of the mountain. It started to get faster and faster and faster. As it started rolling down that mountain, right? And that was him. He was that boulder that just couldn't be stopped. And now he can't stop the fat from coming off. And he's just, he looks amazing. So now that you understand exactly how this process works, I have an offer for you guys. Okay. So if you're a busy business owner, CEO, or entrepreneur, or business person, and you want to gain muscle and lose weight without sacrificing your favorite foods and hobbies, I will implement my dream physique blueprint so I can replicate this exact process for you and give you similar results in less than half the time it would take for you to do it on your own, right? Less than half the cost of you doing it on your own as well, and half the pain and headache of doing it on your own. I've been through all of it, right? It took me 8 years, 9 years of trial and error. And I'm telling you guys, right? I'm going to condense it down to a year, to 6 months, to a year. And if you commit to this, you will see those changes, right? Now, in fact, I'm so confident I can deliver these to you that we don't help anybody with this program except business owners, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and business-minded people. I know I said we meaning me and a fellow doctor that I work closely with for meal plans, right? It's just me, and that's it, right? I'm going to be there every step of the way for you guys. And the meal plans are going to be blood type based, so based off your blood type. And let's say after you invest in yourself and you don't see a single result, you don't see any results by the end of the 90 days of the program, I will work with you until you do, for no additional cost. I'm saying it now. I will say it again. It's just like, you need to see results. You got to. And if you don't, then I'm not doing my job as a coach, and that would be horrible. So I will work with you until you see results, right? So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Now, with my help, you can achieve these results. So this was actually his wife, okay? And his wife lost a lot of weight as well. This is me, my transformation. And, you can also achieve this. This is before and after. Great definition here in the abs, And then here's a huge one. This is one of my best clients here, and yeah, over 30 pounds of fat right here. As you can see, the definition compared to this, right? And if you want to see similar results to me and my clients, and want access to the same system that I used and continue to use, just hit this first link in the description and we can book a call together and see if you're a good fit for the program. And in that call, guys, I'll go over the app with you. I'll ask you questions based off your goals, your experience, and what you want to achieve in the next 90 days. And then we'll go over everything that the program offers. And yeah, we'll see if you're a good fit. And if you are a good fit, we could talk about how we can actually move forward and work together. And worst case scenario, if it isn't a good fit, I can at least point you in the right direction, and you'll have learned more about what you can do moving forward with your journey. Okay. If anything, it's just that I want to help you and make sure that, you're not alone in this, right? This is something that you've been struggling with, and it needs to stop, right? It needs to get better, or it's your health, right? There's no doctor that's going to give you a medicine. It's going to make the pain go away. It might be temporary, but it's not going to fix your problems forever. That's for sure. Anyway, I'm looking forward to speaking to you soon. And yeah, talk to you soon. See ya.